All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. These truths have been given to us from the very beginning, symbolically, that we are living in a movie. We're living in a simulation. Right now, your world that you're living in is being projected from inside of you out. And you can take control of it by taking control of your inner world. Because essentially, your imagination, what's happening inside of you, is the projector. The world that you're living in is the projection. Nothing is created from without. Everything comes from within, from the projector. So how you create a different movie or a different projection from the projector is developing your imagination, developing the muscle of your mind to change the projector, to control what you're projecting onto the projection. Okay, so everything in your world right now is coming from your imagination. Your imagination within you is the projector. So I want to just hit on this point quite a few times in this video so you completely understand this. Your world is a simulation. It's a movie that's being projected from inside of you out. And everything that is being projected is controlled by your imagination. What are your thoughts? Your thoughts are picturing things in your mind, whether you're conscious of it or not. Then those things are creating feeling states, because feeling is the secret. And then those feeling states are impressed into the subconscious, then projected onto the screen of space within consciousness. And then you are shifted in the multiverse, in the infinite amount of realities that coexist simultaneously based on what you're thinking, what you're imagining from those feeling states, and then what's impressed into the subconscious. That's what shifts you in the multiverse. There's an infinite amount of realities that coexist simultaneously. There's an infinite amount of movies that you can be living in, okay? So this is really important to understand, is that there's an infinite amount of different movies that you have the possibility of living in, but you're projecting the movie that you're living in now. Everything's coming from within you, but you have an infinite amount of movies that you can be living in. So what is the actor in the movie that you want to be living in? Who is that? Who's that concept of self? Who is that identity? And that's really truly how you shift. But first, in order to shift properly into the movie where you want to be living in, is to develop your imagination. Have a well-developed attention and imagination and know what's going on. Be very observant of what you're imagining, what your feeling states are, what your thoughts are, what's happening within you. Because remember, that's the projection. That's what's projecting onto the screen of space. But of course, there's a sequence of events that take place, from the thoughts and the images and the feeling states and the subconscious, and then the projection on the screen of consciousness. But it all begins from inside of you. And this is why Neville Goddard stated that there's nothing more important than developing your imagination. There is nothing more important than developing your imagination to transform your life from the inside world of your thoughts and feelings to the outside world of your results and manifestations. So for the exercise that I want you to do, this is going to be something that may be a little bit difficult at first, but it's really going to get you to that next level. But I want you to be energized, and I want you to feel good while you're doing this, because feeling is the secret. So before you do this exercise, I want you to imagine your movie, okay? I want you to imagine the movie that you want to be living in, the life that you want to have, and who is that actor, and what are they doing, and how do they correspond with their world? What are they feeling? What are they thinking? And how are they associated with that world, living in that world? And I want you to try to grab onto that feeling of you being that person that lives in the world where you want to live. Just desire that, feel that, and die to your old self and become this new version, okay? And then get energized and feel really good about this. And then I want you to replay the day's events in reverse order, okay? As you're laying in bed, this is a present moment awareness and development of the muscle of your mind exercise. This is something that Neville Goddard talked about in The Power of Awareness. So I want you to do this as you're getting ready to go to sleep, okay? So do this at the very end of the day, close to where you're getting to sleep. You can lay down, you can sit up doing this. If you have a hard time focusing while you're laying down, just sit up for a minute and do this exercise. So I want you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and just replay the day's events in reverse order. Okay, so if the last thing you did was brush your teeth, and then take a shower, and then eat dinner or go to the gym or whatever it was. That sequence, I want you to replay those events as you're going back to the very beginning of the day when you first got out of bed. So this takes about 10 to 20 minutes. Just run through the scenes real quick and just kind of remember, like, for example, for instance, if you were eating dinner, when you ate dinner or when you ate lunch, what did you eat? And did you have conversation? How was the placement, of the food? What did you exactly eat? And the different conversations that you had, and like the main parts of the day, I want you just to remember these things. Kind of go back to the categories of the day and remember these things until you got out of bed. What this is going to do is it gives you present moment awareness, because you may struggle with this the first time. When I did this, I could barely remember the details of the day, and I had to really struggle to remember. So it was somewhat frustrating for me, because I'm like, okay, so if I wasn't there while I'm replaying the day's events, if I can't remember these things, then I wasn't there. I wasn't present. That means I'm not even a real person. If I can't remember the details of the day, that means I wasn't even there. Where was my mind? It was either in the past or the future and not the present. So this is a present moment awareness course. It's going to get you present, because if you can't remember things that you did throughout the day, that means that you are essentially a sleepwalker, like a zombie, like you're being controlled through the law of thought transmission. Your mind is in reactionary processes to the future or the past, usually the past, where the mind usually is. It's 1,000 miles away, and to be present and aware, throughout the day is going to establish a facility in your mind where you're going to know what's going on with you. You're present, you know what your thoughts are, you know what you're imagining, because remember, what you're imagining is the projector onto the screen of space. Your world is a movie, it's a projection, a simulation from within you. So if you're not presently controlling those things, then that's why the world that you're living in isn't the way that you want it to be. You can make these changes by simply getting present in the moment and observing those thoughts and not reacting to certain things and understanding that this is how your world is being created, okay? By reacting negatively to something, you're subscribing to that, okay? You're essentially telling the subconscious mind you want more of that, so you're staying in that movie. So what this exercise is going to do for you is it's going to make you presently aware of why you're living in the world that you're living in. And then you're going to start noticing where your mind is, you're reacting to certain things, and as you become more present, you are going to be better at not reacting to different things, because you understand why your world is the way that it is. And if you react negatively to something, that means that you're subscribing to that. That means you're planting those seeds for the same things to happen in the future. So then when you're present, you know what you're doing, because you're watching this video and you understand that this is how your world remains the same, by reacting to it and resisting what's happening to you, because everything that's happening to you in your world is based from you. You're actually creating those things. So there's no one to blame but self. If your world isn't the way that it is, it's not because of John Smith or Jane Doe or whoever you want to blame. It's you inside. It's from your own reactions from the past and not being present in the moment and controlling your feeling states, because you're going to shift to a different movie when you learn how to do this. And this exercise is going to help you tremendously if you do it. Okay, so you really need to try this and see the big changes that can happen in your life from doing this simple exercise. It may be difficult the first couple times you do it, but I've seen some really magical success happen, within just a couple days from doing this. Like the first couple times that I did it, I started waking up inside of my own dreams, to where I could turn lights on at a distance. I started to fly inside of my dreams, wake up inside of my dreams. And be present inside of my dreams, because what it does is it changes the structure of your thinking and your thoughts in the present moment. So when you're dreaming, you're mentally doing that. You're trying to wake up and be present inside of your dream. And when you because you'll be automatically doing this. So automatically inside your dream, you're trying to become more present, because you're doing that before you're going to sleep. You're trying to become more present and remember things that happen to you. And then you eventually it takes it into the subconscious, and the subconscious, it changes your concept of yourself. And then you'll start waking up inside of your dreams, and then you'll wake up inside of this dream, this movie. And then you can control what actor you are inside this movie, and what movie and what part you're going to play within your own movie. Then you have control of that, because you're conscious. Once you become conscious in this movie, then you can play any part you want and move to any movie that you want within the multiverse, okay? And this is what this does. So, and I've seen this happen just after a couple times, including myself. So if you want to change the movie that you're living in, if the movie that you're living in or the simulation that you're living in now, you don't really like it, you don't have enough money, you don't have the great relationships, there's just things that you want to improve in. This exercise is going to help you do that. It's going to gain control of you're going to develop your imagination. You're going to develop that muscle of your mind where you can control what you're visualizing, what you're feeling, what you're thinking in the present moment. And that's how you really, truly make change, because there's no time outside of the present moment. Have you ever looked at your watch and it said a different time than the present moment? It's because there is no other time. No other time exists. The past isn't real. The past is right now, and the future is right now. Everything exists right now. So if you can become present, that's when you become powerful, a much more powerful creator for manifestation and shifting in the parallel realities and just changing your movie and changing the projection, what you're projecting onto the screen of consciousness. And if you're looking for detailed instructions on this exercise, the reverse course, I have made a free PDF printout that you can get. It's the very first link in the description. It'll take you right to my website. It's absolutely free. You can get that. You can print that out. That way you have something to go by. Like before you go to bed, you're going to have it. It'll remind you to make sure that you do this exercise. So print it out, put it by your bedside, so that way you don't forget to do this. And just doing it a couple times, you're gonna wake up inside of your dreams at night, and then eventually you're gonna wake up inside this dream. You're gonna be much more present throughout the day. Because I remember doing this, and it really took me to that next level, because the next day I became more conscious, because I couldn't really remember anything. I couldn't remember every detail. So when I woke up in the morning, I'm going to remember these things. I'm going to remember what happens to me. All right. So every step that I took, I was present. Every breath that I took, I was present. Every bite of food that I took, I'm present. I'm tasting it. I'm present. I'm making sure my thoughts are with me. So I got to remember all this. So I have to be present. So it really trains you to be present and really get to that next level. All right, that's the end of this video, but that link is the very first link in the description below. It's absolutely free, by the way. And don't forget to give me one thing you are grateful for, and I will see you all in the next video.